So I wanted to give you guys a update on where I'm at in A Fate Forged in Fire by Hazel McBride. You guys can't really see it right now. I'm sorry. It's the terrible lighting because I still haven't had my mom replace the bulb in my bedside lamp. So, forgive me. But anyway, you guys, this is so freaking good. This is so good. I am so intrigued by this plot. This started off so strong, like immediately jumping into like the magic of the main character, and then there's been like quite a few bits of action, and like the two main characters are true enemies right now. They're like beating each other up. And I think that's why I like more like, I think this is a Celtic fantasy, if I'm not mistaken. I will correct myself if I'm wrong, but I think it is a Celtic narrator because I finally got the audiobook, because I don't know why my library just did not have any new releases today. I kept on checking over and over and over again for Releasing 10 and A Fate Forged in Fire and Problematic Summer Romance, and all of them were saying like just notify me the entire time. It was not ready to borrow at any point. So I don't know if like libraries might be delaying new releases right now. I'm not really sure. Maybe the holiday affected something. I don't really know. So anyway, I'm on page 136. So I read about like 95 pages of this physically because I was still waiting to get the audiobook, but then I just decided to start the audiobook of Releasing 10 by Chloe Walsh, and I just got that on Audible. I just ended up buying it and the ebook because there was a better deal of just buying them together. So I think I paid like maybe like $14 for both, which I want to support the authors when I can, especially in a series like that I love. So anyway, let's talk about the book that I'm actually reading. I mean, I'm still reading that book anyway. I didn't really want to wait to listen to it. So anyway, I'm on chapter 14. And like I said, the main character's name is Amira. And she basically has a twin brother. The heck is his name? Doesn't really not matter what his name is. And the enemy prince is Prince Fiorian. And basically, Amira is like a fire welder of magic. And her twin brother is not as strong as she is, but her whole family basically can conjure magic. And they've had a long line of magical heirs and a bloodline of magic. And basically, like, the Prince Fiorian is the human heir to the throne. But since Amira is a female magic welder, she has been like the only female heir that has been that can actually contest her right to the throne. And so far, this has been so good. Like, it's very political, I will say that. But honestly, like, the plot has been so intriguing. And this is definitely a true slow burn. There hasn't been any, like, romance yet. But honestly, I'm so intrigued by the enemy plot line between her and Fiorian right now. I'm eating it up. Their banter, like the little bits of banter that we get with them, is actually perfect because they literally fucking hate each other. Like, and it's just been so good. I don't know if Hazel McBride is a romance author as well, but honestly, like, I just am so much more into this than I was, which, I mean, like I said, Shield of Sparrows was still good, but this is really giving right now. This is like, I feel like this was exactly what I needed, and I don't think this is going to be long and dragged out. There's literally something that happens in every single chapter. Like, people are dying already. There's like been action. There's been magic. There's just been protests of the people of her right to the throne. Like, it's been absolute chaos, but like in the best way, because it's not like confusing whatsoever. The plot and the story is just flowing so well. It's not like she has like beautiful magical passages. It's just like the story is so intriguing, and this is what I want my fantasy books to be. You know, like I want them to have action. I want them to have a good fantasy plot line. And then sometimes like if the romance takes a little bit longer to develop, that's okay because I feel like this is, like I said, a true slow burn, that it's not being dragged out. Because like I said, they really are enemies right now. So that's all I can really say right now. I'm just saying I'm really freaking enjoying this. And yeah, I don't know. It's just something about this book is really hitting. So like right now she's kind of like questioning like, you know, her loyalty with other people. She's also like part of like a priestess's temple, like basically that's there, it's called, I believe, the True Religion, I think. And basically, you know, there's a lot of like, you know, politics and religion in this book. It's really late, so if I'm repeating myself or not making any sense, I'm sorry. I really haven't been sleeping. So that's why I finished Shield of Sparrows this morning, because I wasn't really sleeping. So yeah. But anyway, it's kind of like brain rot for me. Like right now, like this isn't brain rot whatsoever. This has a really intriguing plot. What was I saying? Basically, like her dad comes back and like says like, hey, you need to take over the throne. And you know, it's kind of like a little bit similar to like how the main character was questioning her father in Shields of Sparrows, because like it's always like the dad that is like plotting to like take over the throne. Like why is it always the father? And like I feel like this is similar, but also like her father just like pushed her to have her claim to the throne, but also she was already aware that this would make her father more powerful if she took over as queen. And the current queen is named Queen Catherine. This is what I was going to say. And, you know, she tells her like, hey, I have an heir to the throne. And I have a claim to the throne. Why am I saying heir to the throne? And, you know, I'm the rightful queen, you know, step off. And this is where like the chaos starts, where like when she says this, there's like, this was so well written, because then she's like, I was expecting like people to like protest or shout, but I wasn't expecting this this deafening silence, because like nobody said anything. And then one person was like, this is treason, and then like chaos erupted. And then like the queen is like, yeah, you're not the rightful queen, you. Like it's been really fun. So that's all I can really say right now. And I also really love the banter between her and her brother. They're so funny. But it's not like forced. It's very natural written dialogue, and I'm really, really enjoying it. So yeah, that is it. I'm going to continue. Hopefully I'll have an update when I'm like 75% of the way through. But since I just got the audiobook, because again, I was waiting for it on Libby, but it never came through. And yes, I'm wearing my Dory shirt. I've had this shirt like forever. And yeah, that's it. Bye. Hey, so hey there, guys. So I wanted to let you guys know that I did finish A Fate Forged in Fire last night by Hazel McBride. You guys, this book was a 5-star. This was a 5-star read for me. I really thought, I was thinking it was going to be like a 4, 4.5, but I knew it was going to be a 4-star already. I am obsessed with this book. This book was so fucking good. This knew how to do a slow burn. This slow burn was fantastic. Like, but also, I just want to correct myself really quick before I get into how much I loved this book, is that Furion is not a human prince. He has magic too. So sorry. I don't know why I thought he was mortal, but he's not. Well, not mortal, but like, well, he is mortal. Can I speak? I'm tired, okay? I didn't sleep again. I slept the night before this, but not last night. So it's just the luck of the draw for me when it comes to sleeping. So anyway, this book was fantastic. Like, my jaw was on the floor for the last, like, 40 pages of this book. And I had a feeling that something was going to happen at the end. But at the end, there was, like, twist after twist after twist of this book, and my jaw was on the floor. Even though it could have been, like, a little bit predictable. but it was so freaking well written. This book was fantastic writing. Like, it wasn't like super beautiful lyrical passages, just like nonstop action and plot development throughout the entirety of this book. And the magic was so freaking cool in this. The dragons were awesome. The romance was fantastically done. I just freaking loved this. This was so freaking good, you guys. Like, I don't care what some Goodreads reviews are saying about this book. This book is so freaking, it's going to be so freaking underrated because I know, like, Silver Elite and Shield of Sparrows are still going to get all the freaking hype. This one deserves as much hype as Shield of Sparrows, okay? Shield of Sparrows was good, but this was fantastic. So I loved it. The last 50 pages, there was so much action going on, and like, just I was like, where did this come from? But it was like, I don't know, this book was so well paced for me. And some people are like, you know, it was really slow and blah, blah, blah. And I even might have enjoyed this book even more than A Fate Inked in Blood, because it really reminded me of, like, the way that book was laid out. But also I feel like that book was a little bit too long. This was, like, perfectly, the perfect length, the perfect pacing, and the plot of this book was just so fucking intriguing. I freaking loved this book. It was so good. I'm just not gonna stop raving about it, but I loved it. I don't even have any other words because I want you guys to read it for yourself. But, like, basically the romance didn't happen until, like, page, like, 250, but it wasn't, like, rushed, and the way that it was done, it was just so good. And then, like, I loved the main character of this book. Oh my god, what a badass. But, like, they were just not afraid to kill in this book. It was kind of bloody, and there were some parts that I was like, oh my god, that's gross, and there was some beheading and stuff like that. But it was just so badass. Like, she beheaded she beheaded a few guys. Like, she's so badass. I loved her. And her twin, oh my god, loved him too. And Furion, oh my god, what the fuck, Furion? At the end, like, bro, what? So good. So absolutely loved this book. I was so immersed in the last, like, 50 pages. I was like, I could not put it down. I had to finish it. So now the last book we're going to be reading, like I said, is His Face is the Sun by James by Michelle Jabez Corpora. Where the hell did I get James from? Sorry. So anyway, that's about it, but I'm going to be starting that book a couple days from now. I'm going to take a break from fantasy books for now, because there's a couple of books that I want to read before the month is over. I mean, we only have 3 days left, but I want to read a romance and then binge a Freida McFadden, because I want to read the Tenet. I actually started reading it a couple days ago, and I'm like 30 pages in, because I've just been picking it up here and there at night on my Kindle, and so far I'm really enjoying it. So, but I really want to read Problematic Summer Romance by Ellie Hazelwood, because that's the last book that I needed to read for another video that I've been working on, like, the whole month of, like, new spring romances. So yeah, that's about it. So bye. Okay, so hey guys. So I wanted to let you guys know that I started reading the last book for this video. I started the audiobook yesterday, and now I've just been reading it today. I didn't really have that much time to read today because I had to work 8 hours. So I did listen to the audiobook this morning, and then I did read a little bit on my break, and then I read a little bit when I got home. So I am reading His Face is the Sun by Michelle Jabez Corpora, and now I'm on page 131, so I'm 26% of the way through. So far, this is so fun, and this is so good. This is so good. I'm having such a good time reading this. It's got humor, it's got suspense, it's got romance, it's got a little bit of action. There hasn't been too much action yet, but there's been a lot of plot lines introduced that I was having a little bit of trouble following at first, but now I'm pretty much getting it. And now this chapter went back to a cliffhanger that we were left off on a couple of chapters ago, and I almost forgot because like I've been so immersed in the story. The story is just so good. So basically it's about like, a prince being born, and when he is born, they pretty much say that his face is like the sun. So he's obviously like the heir to the throne. And it also takes place with like multiple different character perspectives. So it's kind of switching POVs. So it's kind of like having a little bit of trouble following who's who. But now I'm pretty sure I know who's who right now. And I think it follows 4 characters, and that is Sita, Neff, Ray, and Kareem. Sita is, I believe, the prince's sister. Or maybe she's the main character. And I believe Neff is the peasant girl that gets taken to the palace. Kareem, I believe, is one of like the soldiers, or maybe a peasant boy. I know he's a male. I just don't know if he's a soldier or a peasant. And then Ray, I think she is actually the peasant girl that gets taken to the palace. Sita is the prince's sister, I'm pretty sure. I didn't realize that it started with Sita in the beginning. I might have to go back and re-listen to that chapter. But so far, it's just been really, really good. And I've been enjoying that it's been from like 2 different class perspectives, like in ancient Egypt, from like royalty and the poor. So I think that was really clever for this author to do, because we're getting like, the grittiness of, what the peasants go through, and that, they're being heavily taxed by the king. And then the royalty, they're not as like one-sided as you might think. Like Sita just wants, everybody's approval of what she's doing, compared to the prince. I forget his name. But we've been getting like bits and pieces of him as well. But also he helps out Ray in the castle. Well, not even the castle, the palace, when she arrives at the palace. And basically, Ray has like these really graphic magical dreams. And the king ends up finding out from like one of his high priestesses that she is having like magical dreams, almost like visions of things that are yet to come. So that's why she's taken to the palace, and she has to be like cleansed and cleansed for the king, because she has dirt on her because she's a peasant. So now we are first like introduced to like her finding like her way through the palace, and the prince like she stumbles upon actually other priests performing magic, and I think this is one of the first times that she's like seen magic being performed, and she's like, wow, it's real magic. Like, so she lets out like a gasp, and then like one of the priestesses like hears her, and he's like, who's there? And then like the prince like comes, and he's like, oh, she's just my assistant, like I'll it's fine, don't worry about it. Like, it's just been, I don't know, it's just been so good. I'm like giving you like the smallest bits and pieces right now, but basically I think that Ray is obviously destined for more than like her life right now. But I'm feeling so much more for this book, and I'm feeling so much more interested in this story. Even though there is like descriptive kind of passages, it's moving along very quickly. Like, it's not too much world building. Like, she'll set up a scene, and then there'll be dialogue. It'll like even though the chapters are like 30 minutes long, because there's like 20-page chapters, but this is like an epic fantasy, so like I knew that the chapters would be longer, and even though they're long, they like don't drag at all. Like, there's something that's always happening like towards the end of the chapter, or like in the middle of the chapter, and you're like, oh my god, you just want to like find out what happens next. So like, so far it's been really good. And there's been like this other plot line with Kareem. They find like a tomb in like I guess a pyramid. I'm not sure if I'm pretty sure it's like the pyramids. Correct me if I'm wrong. But anyway, they like find like an empty sarcophagus, and like now the mummy or whoever is like fucking, roaming free, and pretty much like something happened to his friend, and he has to like, and I was like, oh my god, is Kareem gonna get out? Like it's just been so good, like so much suspense and build up, but like it's been like a good way where it's like it's very fast paced, and you just want to like not too fast paced where you're not getting like the descriptiveness, but it's not boring. You know what I mean? Like it's not like constant build up where like nothing happens. Like something is always happening at the end of every chapter, and that's what is making me intrigued to read more. So I'm hoping to read a bit more before I watch Desperate Housewives, because I literally have one episode left of Desperate Housewives and it'll finally be done. Not that I haven't had an amazing time, but I literally just have the series finale to finish. And I have a little bit of the episode that I watched last night because I didn't realize it was like an hour and a half, and it was like 3 a.m. and I like watched an hour of it, and I'm like, I need to go to bed. So I just have to finish the rest of that one, and then I'll see how long the series finale is. I have a feeling it's going to be another 90-minute episode, so I probably won't finish it till tomorrow, but I really want to finish it tonight. So yeah, so I do want to finish that, but also I do want to read more of this, because so far this has been so good. But I think I'm just going to listen to Releasing 10 right now and then read a bit more of this book. I'm hoping to get up to page to like, I don't know, since the chapters are long. But again, I don't feel like they're dragging at all. Like I've been having so much fun. Yeah, I'm hoping to read maybe chapters like 7 and 8, and then I can be up to page 159. I think that would be good. That would be like another like 30-ish pages. I think I could do that. So yeah, then that would be like 100 pages today, including like the chapters that I listened to. And then it'll be read. I'll read like 80 pages physically. If I have like the audiobook of something and I'm reading it at the same time, I don't like pressure myself to read like 100 pages a day still. If I read like 80 or 90 pages a day and still listening to the audiobook, that's still progress. So anyway, I was trying to read this other book called Skip Shock. And this was another YA fantasy that came out by Caroline Donahue. But this came out the beginning of June. But I actually already read another new release that came out on the same day before I jumped into His Face is the Sun. But I was trying to read this before I read His Face is the Sun. And I got pretty bored. So I don't know if I'm going to come back to this. I do have it on Libby Loan, so I'm just going to return the physical copy because I didn't really feel it enough to keep the physical book. I read like 20 pages of the physical book, and then I was like, I don't know, it was just like a little slow for me. So it wasn't really what I was feeling in the moment. So I was like, why don't I just stick to my TBR? And His Face is the Sun was what I was really in the mood for anyway, because again, since I started the audiobook yesterday, I was already hooked. I was like, there was so much that happened already that I'm like, I need a fast-paced, fun, magical, epic fantasy right now, and this is giving me exactly what I need. It's not just claiming to be like epic. I have a feeling like it's going to build up to something like freaking crazy. So I'm hoping for some more at the end, some magic. Like, I can't wait. So I've just been having a really good time. So far, basically all the books in this video have been pretty good. We had 2 5 stars. I think this is going to be my 3rd favorite. I don't know if this is going to be a 5-star or not, but we'll see as we get further in. I'm not getting the 5-star feelings yet, but I am definitely having a great time. And then Shield of Sparrows and Night of the Moth. I liked Shield of Sparrows more than Night of the Moth, though. I felt like even though it took forever for the plot to build up, I liked the writing more in Shield of Sparrows as compared to Night and the Moth, which I'm very surprised because I actually really liked the One Dark Window duology, so I was really surprised that I didn't really like that one. So yeah, we're going to continue reading, and I will check in probably when I'm like halfway through or maybe like 60% of the way through. but I have a feeling so much is going to go down. So yeah, that's it. Bye.
Okay, so hey there guys, I wanted to give you guys an update on where I'm at in His Face is the Sun by Michelle Jabez Corpora. I'm on page 334, which is 64% of the way through. This book has taken me a little bit longer to get through, but I've only been reading it for 2 days. Like, this is like the 3rd day, and I'm hoping to finish it today. Because it says I only have like 4 hours left. So I have a significant amount of reading time today before I have to get ready later. I'll probably get ready around like 4 because I do have to wash my hair. Maybe like 4:30 because I don't really have to go out until like 6:30 today. So if I wash my hair a bit after 4, that still gives me like 2 hours of reading time. So I think I have, 4 hours and 49 minutes left in the book. So I should be able to finish it today because I also have been listening to the audiobook as well. You guys, this book is so good. I'm having so much fun with this. This one's definitely going to be rated pretty high, probably higher than Shield of Sparrows in this video. Like probably somewhere in the middle because nothing's going to beat A Fate Forged in Fire and Silver Elite. But this book I'm really thoroughly enjoying. I'm not really getting 5-star feelings from it, but it depends on like how the end goes because there's a lot that has happened since my last update. Like I said, like the action really picked up in this. And now I understand everybody's storylines because again, it's only 4 different characters' perspectives, and now I understand like who everybody is at this point. And basically, they all have pretty much the same end goal, is that they want to overthrow the king because they think he's a corrupt king. He's like not really taking care of his people, but the king is also dying from like this strange poison, but they think it's like a demonic disease. They think that like a demon is just draining his life pretty much, his life force. But I actually finally figured out like who everybody is. Neff is actually the one that got taken to the palace and has like visions and dreams about like certain oracles and prophecies that are going to happen. So she's the one that gets cleansed to serve the king in the palace, but she befriends the Prince Kenna, and Sita is Prince Kenna's sister, which we also get her character's perspective as well, like I said before. And she basically Sita struggles with like getting the king's approval with things because obviously back then women still were looked at as, second-class citizens. They couldn't do everything that a man could do. But meanwhile, every single female character in this is such a fucking badass. Like, they can, like, destroy, like, Nev has her magic. Rey is a fucking badass fighter. And Sita can take down any man. And I thought that was so fucking cool because she's, like, they think that she's some helpless princess, but then meanwhile she's like, I could take you. I could fucking like wreck you. So it's just like so good. But Sita is always like seeking her father's approval over Kenna, but Kenna's still like her best friend. Like she loves Kenna and Kenna loves her. Like they like make fun of each other, but they're like always there for each other. Even though like sometimes he's like, kind of pushing her limits a little bit, but she knows that he cares about her, but the king doesn't really. So, and then with Kareem, which I think he's my favorite character. It's just like the banter between him and this old man that wants him to go on this journey for him, and they don't really spend that long, like him going to where he needs to be. And Kareem didn't even want to go. And it was just like so funny with the banter between them because he had to go to this city in order to understand the oracle that Omari told him about, which is the old man. But also there's like this plot point where Kareem also has to go to this city because there's like a ancient pharaoh, like I said, that was awoken in the tomb that Kareem was in before, and he was trying to like find out like who this pharaoh is that got awoken basically,
but there's no record of him like ever ruling or pretty much ever really existing. He just got buried and like that was it, like in a tomb. So like he has to go and like find out like what the fuck, like why doesn't this like, because it's kind of like similar to the mummy where like if like a pharaoh gets erased from time pretty much, that means like you must have done something fucking awful when you were actually pharaoh. It's just so good. And then like a fight just happened because Ray leads this, like she is now going to be leading the rebellion against the king. So it'll be interesting to see like what she does with Sita and Kenna. I feel like that'll be a big like thing happening at towards like the end of the book, and because we all know that they all don't like the king, and we found out something about the prince and the king that's like crazy. So like um the king is still dying, but they still want to overthrow him anyway because obviously he's still going to be pharaoh until he passes away. So it's just been really really good. I'm having a great fucking time. So like I said, I'm like almost 65% of the way through, so I should be able to read for a good like 2 hours before I go out. So yeah, bye. Okay, so hey there guys, I wanted to let you guys know that I did finish His Face is the Sun by Javis Michelle Corpora, or Michelle Javis Corpora. I think it's Michelle Javis Corpora. Why do I keep on fucking up the name? I am the worst. I'm sorry. Hold on. I'm so goddamn tired. But I finished it on a TikTok live, actually. Yeah, it's Michelle Javis Corpora. And I thought it was really good. I really, really liked it. So now I can rank the books for you guys. From my least favorite to my favorite. I thought that this one, I feel like it needed a little bit more like epic fantasy to it. I really liked all the like oracles and prophecies in it. I just felt like it needed a little bit more action, but I really enjoyed the story of this. I thought it was really, really good. I was just hoping there was going to be a bit more like battle scenes. I thought there's going to be a lot more like rebellion happening between like the poor and the peasants and the palace soldiers, but we did get a lot of build up and set up for the next book. So I am very intrigued to read the second book because I feel like we're going to get a lot more action in the second book, but not to say this wasn't good. So I'm giving this a 4.25 stars. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was so intriguing. But one of the main characters, oh my god, I was so sad. And then like they were okay, but I'm not going to say anything else because I don't want to spoil anything. So, yeah, I thought it was really good. I really liked it. I'm not really going to go too much in depth. There wasn't really anything too crazy that happened at the end, though, like, besides, like, one character that I thought was dead, and then they weren't. There wasn't really a battle at the end, but I am very excited to continue on with the series, so who knows when that will happen. But I'm really glad I picked up this book over Skip Shock, because honestly this book really kept my attention a lot more. And even though it was longer, it didn't even feel that long because it was the plot was just so intriguing. And they recommend that this book is like good for people who liked like This Woven Kingdom by Tara Mafi, and I did not like that series. I thought that this was a lot more like not really epic fantasy still, because I feel like with YA it kind of like, but I feel like An Ember in the Ashes is really going to be like more epic romantasy, and I'm like so here for it. I cannot wait to get into that series later this month. So, and also one of the romantases that I was looking forward to read the first two books, and then I was going to read the third book by the time it came out. It got pushed back to March of next year. I was like, what is with all of these romantases getting pushed back to March of 2026? First, The second book in Dire Bound got pushed back to March 2026, which is Fury Bound by Sable Sorensen. And now the third book in On Wings and Blood by Briar Bolin. Is so funny. They both have like SS and BB. Just funny. That both of their first and last names both start with the same letter. That got pushed back to March 2026 as well, when it was supposed to come out next week. So now I have a little bit more free reign on what I want to read on my TBR, because I don't think I'm going to add those then, even though I was really in the mood for them. I did put two more 2025 releases, of course, on my TBR for this month. Then over on Wings and Blood. I just really wanted to read it finally, so anyway, now we're going to rank the books. But I still had a good time with this book, and it was still very intriguing, and this book was like way better written than This Woven Kingdom. I just was so bored with This Woven Kingdom. Like with this, there was like multiple different plot lines and always something going on in each chapter that I really enjoyed the writing style of this one, and Michelle Corpora's storytelling, that I really want to see what happens with the series next. I think this series has a lot of potential to be really fucking good. I mean, this book was already really good, so I was just hoping for more, battle scenes. It was a little bit underwhelming at the end, but it was still like intriguing enough for me to keep me interested. So all right, so now let's rate the books. Rank the books. Can I fucking speak ever? So we read 5 books in this video. Really good. So number 5, obviously, is The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig. I just really didn't care about it. And I actually watched another of my favorite YouTubers reading wrap-ups earlier today, and she gave this book the same exact rating as I did, and she felt the same exact way about this book as I did. She gave it a 3.5 out of 5 stars, but she also read Shield of Sparrows, and she gave that 5 stars. Which I gave that 4 stars. But anyway, number 5 is Night and the Moth. I'm giving it a 3.5. She literally felt the same way by saying she felt kind of bored and didn't really connect to the characters. She just thought they were there. And I felt the same exact way. I don't know. I don't really get the hype with this book, but that's what I can say about number 4, which is Shield of Sparrows by Devney Perry. Like I said, I just gave it a solid 4 stars. Because I did enjoy this book more than The Night and the Moth. I actually did care about the characters in this book. I just felt like there was a massive amount of buildup, that it took like too long to get to the actual plot points. But I still really enjoyed the writing, and I did like the characters more so, even though like the main character was kind of annoying me a couple of times because she asked so many goddamn questions, and she was like always saying like, you don't trust me to the Guardian, and that kind of like pissed me off because he would literally say, I don't trust you, and then meanwhile he would tell her like anything she would ask, but meanwhile she still didn't trust him. He didn't trust her, which made no sense. I don't know why I keep on confusing them, but yeah, that was number 4. It's just, I don't know why this book is getting so much hype. Good for it, but I think that Dire Bound and Silver Elite are way more worth the hype that they're getting over Shield of Sparrows, because I think they're better books. And then number 3 was His Face is the Sun. I actually, like I said, by Michelle Jabez Corpora. Really enjoyed this, gave it a 4.25. Don't have to go into my thoughts again about it, because I literally just did. And then number 2 was A Fate, Fortune, Fire by Hazel McBride. Absolutely loved it. Still thinking about this book. It was just so good, and I cried a little bit at the end. I just really liked it. I really liked the balance between the romance and the plot, even though the romance didn't happen till like pretty late in the book. I didn't think it was rushed. I think it was well paced. Even though there was probably only 100 pages of it, I think that it was put in the right place, and the story was just fantastic. So I cannot wait for the second book. I'm so excited for it. Then obviously number 1 is Silver Elite by Danny Francis. How could this not be number 1? I freaking ate this book up for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Oh my god, so fucking obsessed with this book. It had to be, and A Fate, Fortune, Fire, and Silver Elite were my two 5 stars in this video. So I technically haven't really found a 5 star since A Fate, Fortune, Fire until now, because I just finished releasing 10 by Chloe Walsh, which was a 5 star, but of course it was going to be a 5 star. That was like my only 5 star this month so far, but it took me like a couple weeks to finish because damn, I was crying my eyes out when it was done. But yeah, read some really good books in this video. Honestly, the only one I was really disappointed with was The Night and the Moth. I was really thought I was gonna like it a lot more than I did, but I just didn't. I just couldn't connect to the characters. So, but Silver Lead, I was absolutely fucking like on crack. That book is on crack. I cannot talk, obviously. I am not on crack. I'm just tired. So I'm gonna go. So please like and subscribe. Follow me on my Instagram at TW819 and check out my Poshmark at the same. Check out my Goodreads as well and my TikTok. I will leave them both linked below if you want more in-depth reviews. And yeah, that's about it. So keep reading. Bye. Okay, so hey there, guys. I want to tell you guys the last book that we are reading in this part 2 of new fantasy romantasy releases for May and June of 2025. And the last one is A Dance of Lies by Brittany Arena. I wasn't sure if I was actually going to read this book this month, but I picked it up yesterday at Barnes, and I actually started it earlier today. Well, actually, I started the audiobook, I believe, last night because I had finished Love on the Brain. I don't know why I didn't just start this audiobook like when I was driving home yesterday, because the audiobook I did start, I wasn't really paying that much attention to it. I tried to read An Ember in the Ashes, but I might just go back and reread like the physical book when I'm ready to start that series, because I was supposed to start it, but also I kind of just wanted to read something that was like a standalone, and again, something that was like a spring summer release. And I thought this would be perfect. And so far, this is really, really good. So basically, it's about a woman named Vasily. They call her like more like Vaseline in the audiobook. And she used to be a dancer in King Ilian's court, but she is severely prosecuted and locked away in a dungeon. It doesn't really say why she was locked away. I don't think you found out yet what she actually did. But basically, she has to work for the king, and she has to dance in his court. But he's been like torturing her the past like couple of years. So there's already some dark things that are going on. I mean, nothing too dark yet, but there are some things that I was like a little shocked by. But she basically has to spy for the king. I forget if she has to spy on a different court. It says he offers her a deal, become his spy at the 6-week royal gathering, and he'll grant her freedom. So the gathering is kind of sort of like a games, not exactly trials, but there's like games that it entails, to basically. And it says, as Ilian's orders grow bloody and dangerous, forcing her to harm and betray those around her, Vasily discovers that the monster she serves may be aligned with a bigger monster, one far closer to home. With her world threatened, Vasily enlists the help of Ilian's brother and greatest adversary, the infamous King of the East. So we just met the King of the East, and basically that's where she's at right now. And she's been spying for the king. So far, I really have been enjoying it. I think that it's very fast-paced. It's very easily written. We are spending a lot of time in her head. There's not too much dialogue, but I'm only on page 93. So far, like, we've just been getting, like, the initial setup of her working for the king. But I'm really intrigued to see, like, why she was locked away. And the only reason why the king kept her alive is because she only has like some type of use to him, and she doesn't know why he's keeping her alive either. So there's a bit of a mystery element in this too, and a bit of like a conspiracy going on, and I'm here for it. So far I'm really enjoying this, and I'm just excited to read more of it. But yeah, I wasn't sure if I was going to read this in June, but it did just come out like 10 days ago, so I figured I would pick it up because it's only one book, and I really just wanted to read another fantasy this month because honestly, I've only been reading a lot of literary fiction, or general fiction in general. And a few romances. I haven't really read that many fantasy books this month. I only read His Face is the Sun earlier this month, and I read Air of Storms, which I could have included it in this, but I didn't. So we're going to include this one because I wanted to include one more book in this vlog because this vlog is already 10 million years long. But hey, because part 2 is now going into June and it's like already June 20th, I might as well include a June release. So yeah, so I'm just going to keep on reading this and I will let you guys know my thoughts, but I think it's like a perfect spring summer kind of romantasy if you guys are looking for something that's a little bit more atmospheric. And also the cover is so beautiful. So yeah, like I said, I just picked it up yesterday and this was the only copy they had at my Barnes & Noble. And I'm actually reading this and 7 Days in June by Tia Williams at the same time because I wasn't really sure I was going to be in the mood for that book because it was yet another general fiction that was on my TBR this month. But 7 Days in June is really, really good too. So far, I'm really enjoying it. I'm like 40% of the way through of that. And this I kind of just started listening to last night. But I'm going to read a little bit more of this now because I want to read the physical book because I've only read like 30 pages of the physical book. And I mostly listened to the rest of it. But now I want to read the actual book. So yeah, that's it. So, and then I'll read more of 7 Days in June on my Kindle because I'm reading it on Libby. So, but yeah, I just felt like reading 2 books at the same time, but I wasn't sure if I was going to be in the mood for 7 Days in June. I really was in the mood for a romantasy. So that's why I picked up A Dance of Lies, and it's definitely fulfilling my cravings right now. So yeah, might take me a couple of days to finish both of these books, but I'm enjoying them. That's all that matters. But I do have to finish 7 Days in June by Sunday because my Libby loan expires on Sunday. So yeah, it expires like Monday morning. So I should definitely be finished with it by Sunday. Hopefully tomorrow though, but we'll see how far we get. I want to get at least halfway through tonight because I'm going to read it like before I go to sleep. So yeah, that's it. Bye. So hey there guys, I wanted to give you guys an update on where I'm at in A Dance of Lies by Brittany Arena. I haven't talked to you guys about this book in like a couple of days, but I'm on page 277, so I'm pretty much like maybe almost 70% of the way through, maybe like 60-ish percent. I have been reading this for the past couple of days. I think I started it on Thursday, maybe? Don't remember. Yeah. Okay, so anyway, sorry, my mom I sent her a screenshot of when my interview is for Apple. Yay! So anyway, so basically, I'm not really feeling the romance in this book. I'm loving the plot. The plot has been really good. It's definitely been a page turner, but I feel like I'm not feeling the chemistry between the romance, and honestly I'm a little bit confused on who the romance is supposed to be with, but I feel like that's the point of this. But I'm really getting like the whole dishonesty vibe from all of the characters because you really can't trust anything they are saying. But she was interested in Copeland, which is another dancer, but she knew that she couldn't be with him because he's not royalty, because she works for the king. But now also the other king from the other kingdom came into the picture, which is, what the hell's his name again? Ilian's brother. It doesn't say his name in the synopsis, but she's still working for her king, but she also is working for her brother as well. His brother as well, I mean, because he like offers her things that are like too good to be true, but she knows that she can't really trust him. So it's all about like lies and deceit and who you can trust, because honestly you can't really trust any of them. So that's been really fun, and it's been keeping me engaged in this book. But again, I'm not really feeling the romance. I feel like there's just not enough tension and build up. Oh my god, Jesus. Um with the characters to really care that much. So, oh my god, I'm going to throw my phone. I literally can't. Every time I'm trying to do a freaking check-in, no one shuts up. It's so annoying. So, it's like literally only when I'm on camera. My friend like spams me with these videos and it pisses me off so much. And he's like one of my friends that just like moved away and never said bye to me, but he messages me every day. But he didn't think I would be annoyed about that, you know? You couldn't just like tell me like, "Oh, I'm moving. I'm so sorry. I wish I could have seen you again," but whatever. It is what it is. So anyway, I'm really getting the atmospheric vibes in this too. The world building's really good. But also I'm not feeling that much magic, but magic has been described quite a few times in this book. And I think that the dance and the dances that they perform is like most of the magic that is supposed to take place in this book. And but like nothing's really happened with it yet. Like no one's been put under a spell by it or anything like that. So, but again, the writing is really good. So, I'm still really enjoying it. I don't think this is going to be a 5-star though, because it's not like a Fate Forged in Fire where like you already knew who was going to be the love interest, and it was like a true enemies to lovers to enemies again, and I ate it up. It was just so good, like the slow burn romance in that. And like I said, we had like maybe 100 pages of the romance, but we still got 100 pages of it, and I was really feeling it between the two characters. But this, it's lacking a little bit for me. And I really wanted a good like romantasy, but not to say it's a bad book, because again, I'm so entertained. I want to see like what happened with like the murder mystery plot that's in this too, and I want to see like if she uncovers more things about the two kings. So that's pretty much like where we're at right now. So I don't know why I'm like but you know, he's a pretty ruthless king because he just like punishes whoever he wants. Like he doesn't really care. So that's where we're at. I don't really have any other updates for you because I just wanted to update you guys on where the plot is going and how I'm feeling right now. So yeah, I will check in with you guys when we finish the book. So bye. Okay, so hey there guys. So I wanted to let you guys know that I did finish the last book for this video, and that is well, it wasn't supposed to be this book originally, but that is A Dance of Lies by Brittany Arena. I really liked this. This was really good. I still feel like I needed more romance. That's literally like the only thing that I felt like was lacking a little, but I knew that the last like 70 pages was going to be like twist after twist after twist, but it wasn't like an exhausting kind of like, you know, let me just throw a bunch of twists at you and not like care about the plot. It was like really well timed. Again, the pacing of this book was very fast, sucked me in, super easy read. You don't want to put it down, honestly. So it did have that. So I'm going to give this a 4.25 stars because I didn't feel strongly enough about the romance to give it like a 4.5. And I knew it wasn't going to be a 5-star, but it was still really, really good, you guys. Like, I read some really good books in this video. So I can't really say what happens towards the end because I feel like it's very spoilery, but I would highly recommend this if you like plot-driven romantasies. But for me, I just prefer a little bit more romance. So, but other than that, we read some really good books in this video. We had one 5-star read. So obviously, I think I'm going to say this is number 3 in this video, even though again, I loved all the books that I read, and I actually liked this more than Shield of Sparrows. Shield of Sparrows was like, and I liked this a lot more than Night of the Moth, because even though I really liked the main character in this book, I didn't really feel towards like any of the other characters because like you couldn't really trust any of them. But that was like the whole intrigue and the whole point of this plot, is that you don't know who to trust. And, you know, you don't even know if she's lying sometimes. So basically, towards the end, she has to yet again cut another deal with one of the kings. I'm not going to say who, in order to save somebody's life. And she, you know, was, you know, used by this king that was captured her. And then you actually find out around like page 380 or something, why she finally was like imprisoned by him. And it's crazy. Like, my jaw was on the floor. I was like, what? This is fucked up. Like, it was just fucked up. But like, it was just so compelling, and it was just so much fun. This was just such a fun read. So definitely 4.25 stars. It was really good. Same thing with His Face is the Sun. I think I also gave that a 4.25 stars. But I actually felt more for the other characters in that book, and also it was just such a good book, y'all. Like, it was just so good. So that's definitely number 2, by James Michelle Corpora, or Jabez Michelle Corpora. I always screw up that name. I'm sorry. But mostly these were books that we read in June, so that's why I just both of these books I read in June. A Fate, Fortune, Fire I read at the end of May. But that is definitely number 1 in this video. A Fate, Fortune, Fire, but can I speak? A Fate, Fortune, Fire. A Fate Forged in Fire. Say that 3 times fast. By Hazel McBride, 5 stars. I loved it so much. So good. So again, read some incredible reads in this video. We had 2 5-star reads in this entire vlog, which was Silver Elite and A Fate Forged in Fire. I did not think A Fate Forged in Fire was going to be my other 5-star. Like, I thought I was going to be blown away by Shield of Sparrows too, but nay. Silver Elite, tip-top favorite in this video. But, so yeah, that's it. I don't really have much else to say. I mostly said my thoughts about the other books, but I kept on comparing this to A Fate Forged in Fire because they were around the same length. But I felt a lot more for the characters in that book, and also the romance. I just thought it was perfect the way it was done, and I loved it. That book was so fucking good, but this book was still really fun read, and it is worth the hype that it's getting right now, because I've been seeing some reviews and some really high reviews for this book, and I think it is well deserved, but it just wasn't quite a 5-star for me. And then His Face is the Sun, I just needed a little bit more epicness. And with this, I felt like I needed a little bit more of the battle at the end, but there was quite a bit of action at the end, but it was crazy. But it kind of blew my mind up quite a bit. But I was also expecting a little bit more. I just wanted a little bit more from this book, but it just didn't quite get there for me. But I would still highly recommend it for like a fun spring, summer romantasy. This was really fun. But also, again, I didn't feel much magic in this. So, but they kept on mentioning magic, and there was like a prophecy, and there was like mentions of her being able to weld magic, but she never really did. Maybe she did that so then she could protect herself even more, because she was already like, you know, being abused by this king pretty much. So he just used her all the time. But yeah, it was really good. I really enjoyed it. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. So please like and subscribe. Follow me on my Instagram at CPW819 and check out my Poshmark at the same, not my Poshmark. Follow me on Goodreads and TikTok. I will post both in the description box below. You can follow me on Goodreads so you can see all of my book reviews. I post every single review there. And you can follow me on TikTok because I post quite a bit of book content on there too now. And I've been having a great time. I actually did a whole reading sprints last night reading this book. I read like 90 pages of this. And then I finished the last 90 pages today. So I already read 100 pages today because I read like 10 pages or so of Beautiful Venom by Rena Kent, which is my Kindle read right now. And I'm like over halfway through that book now too. So I'm probably going to read that for the rest of the day. And I also have the audiobook, so I'm just going to listen to the audiobook now too. But this was really good. So I'm glad that I finished it finally. And I'm gonna go into The Ghostwriter by Julie Clark tomorrow. So those are basically like 2 mood reads, but I've been having a great time just going into what I wanted to read. But yeah, I was just expecting a little bit more from this book. So just felt a little short, but at the same time, still a great time. So yeah, what else was I gonna say? Oh, I did a whole reading sprints last night reading this book and Beautiful Venom. I think I read like 50 pages or so of Beautiful Venom. So I read a lot in my live last night. It was like 130 pages at least. So I'm definitely going to do another reading sprints like probably this Friday. So, because this is the next video that's going to be going up because I already posted part 1. So I just needed to finish this book in order to post part 2. So yeah, that's it, and I hope you guys enjoyed, and let me know if you guys have read any of these books, or if you're interested in reading these books. Let me know. I'm a nosy bitch. But yeah, that's it. Bye.